Welcome back to Some Offense Intended. I'm Jeremy Robinson.
I am Mike Mick.
There's several things that I have for notes that are, some are like, what the fuck is going on with the world now?
I just have a few, but I think they're pretty good.
So and we might be doing 2 episodes today. So we'll see after the first one, like if we still have shit or how we feel. But
Well, I do want to mention one though, that this was interesting. There was yes, this is going to shock you, a Florida man, but Florida man left his phone in a men's room at a Walmart. And while he was gone, some other guy walked in and went ahead and called in a bomb threat to that Walmart
with that phone.
with that phone. Yes.
I was thinking he like took a bunch of pictures of everything with it.
No, he called in a bomb threat.
I don't know which one would be better.
But of course, originally they go to the owner of the phone and be like, well,
Yeah.
You did this. And he's like, no, I left my phone at Walmart. And then they looked at surveillance tape and he walked into it and then he walked out and then some other guy walked in at the same time that the phone call was made. And nobody else had walked in. So they got him.
Oh, I thought they were going to say like the dude walked out like looking around like cartoon paranoid.
No, he was doing cartoon. He was just shifting his eyes back and forth.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how you look shifty in a cartoon.
I mean, there's the jump back and forth with your head thing too, a little bit.
Yeah.
Like there's a little bit of both.
But if you just want to look suspicious, it's the eyes.
Yeah. Because what's the name of that? What's the name of that guy in the Jesus Christ Speed Racer? Like in the Hanna-Barbera cartoon with all the different characters. Like there was Snagglepuss.
I know you're talking. I don't know.
The one Dastardly, the dog.
Yeah.
It was Dastardly's owner that always did that like eye shift, like nonstop, because he was always doing like shitty things to like stop people and wreck people.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the best.
It's gonna bother me. Who is that guy? Dastardly
dog.
Oh, his name is Dastardly.
All right.
Because
so
the dog is Muttley.
So we remembered it.
Yeah.
I really hate autocorrect. Because in my notes, I was trying to type something about UFC.
Bro, autocorrect is getting so bad.
I go to look at it now, and I know it's supposed to be UFC, but I look down here, and it's KFC.
That's horrible.
Yeah, that's not even close.
I just had a website pulled up, bro. Fuck. It closed.
But a while back at UFC 289, I think it was. Yeah, 289. They were in Canada, and apparently the whole crowd was chanting, fuck Trudeau.
And that was when?
That was like 6 or 7 months ago. It's happened again since.
Okay, I was going to say.
And there's fuck Trudeau flags, and there's a whole lot of it.
Because he's doing a lot to fuck up Canada right now. Yeah. A lot. Like, there was a video from 3 years ago, I think. I don't know how long his term is or how long it's been there. So this number's out of my ass.
It seems like it's been forever.
But he said something to the effect of, registering guns is the first step to taking all guns from all citizens, and that will never happen. His words, like paraphrased, but roughly exactly what he said. And then it cut to the clip of him saying, no longer can any Canadian citizen sell, transfer, give, or like listed several things, a handgun. Like you can't fucking buy a handgun anymore in Canada.
I know. I saw when he did that.
Period. Like, that's fucking ridiculous.
But when you come out and you say that registering your guns is the first step towards us taking them away, that's saying the quiet part out loud.
Yeah, but that was that was so he could gain favor. That was a while ago when he was like, "Oh, I'm going to be your friend," and then here you go. Here's the fucking light.
Yeah.
Just like politicians do. So, and it's fucking weird. There's a lot of shit.
I guess they can't really do a mass maple syrup, so.
Well, but that's the thing is you guys have so much gun violence and like per thousand, like yes, any gun violence is too much. However, like in the same breath, not saying it's okay. A lot of the violence that it uses guns is either suicides or gang violence. Those are two of the highest rate of gun usage with violence.
Also, they put officer related shooting in it too, and
which is blown out of proportion because that can't really be like in the line of duty should be something completely fucking separate.
Should be a whole different category.
But
so should suicide.
But England obviously doesn't have many guns, and the ones that they do have are severely restricted. Like
Yeah. I know.
they have a special unit in their police force that can carry.
Yeah, the regular bobbies.
And then when they
don't-
knock, like it's like armed UK police open. Like they have to announce that they're armed.
Yeah.
Like here, sometimes they don't even knock. But anyway, so
No,
what I
when they
was
take
getting
that
at,
big battering ram, that's knocking.
yeah, it knocks once and sometimes it's open.
Yeah.
But what I was getting at was like the UK doesn't have a lot of guns. However, they have a massive amount of knife violence compared to the States.
Yeah.
Because guess what? If you can't shoot somebody,
You're gonna stab them
you're gonna stab or cut them.
or shove them out a window
Yeah, that's you can
from a tall building.
You can also defenestrate somebody. Did you know that word?
No.
That's the act of throwing someone out a window.
All right.
To defenestrate.
It's just I used to see this commercial on Nick at Night all the time, and it had Archie Bunker from All in the Family, and he would be on there and he would say, because his daughter would be like, so and so, how many people have been killed per year by gun violence? And he said, would you rather them be pushed out windows? If somebody wants to kill somebody, they're gonna find a way to do it.
Yeah, that's the other point. So like once you take guns off the table, there's still weapons that you can use.
But there's so many guns, you can't possibly get them all.
That's not even my point.
But I'm just saying, even if you try, it's not going to do it.
But looking at it like that is the wrong way to look at it.
But I'm just using a point that even if you try to ban them, they're still going to be there.
Right. Okay, we'll go with that mentality because I just thought of something else that would have been my first thought normally, but I've had a couple gins today. Is make more laws. Okay, great. If only we outlawed meth. Meth wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. Yeah, we should put a law against that too.
We should stop selling it in stores probably.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't? Oh, it is illegal.
Oh,
but it's still a problem. Weird. So all these gun laws that they're coming out with.
I thought Winco had the blue.
So all these gun laws they're coming out with, only law-abiding citizens obey them 99% of the time.
If I'm already going out to break the law, what's another one?
Right. But so like there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of weird stuff, and like how much we try to keep this not political, I feel like we're getting to a fucking line here.
Yeah.
With how the country's going and how society's going. We're not going to be able to do that anymore. Probably within the next like 2 months. There's no fucking way that we can keep it not political. Because it's getting fucking ridiculous.
Things are getting weird.
It's escalating in a fucking strange fashion. Strange. Like if a regular escalator is at like speed 2, if you crank that motherfucker to like 30, that's how it seems like shit's going right now. It's weird.
I can finally get upstairs faster.
Weird.
Yeah, there's too much going on right now.
Weird. Like all kinds of stuff, and I don't even want to talk about most of it because it's either like just being found out or like not verified yet or like all kinds of weird shit.
No, we need to get some more verifications.
Well, I don't even care about the verification issue, but
I do.
A lot of it is like stuff with COVID and vaccines coming back up in like Supreme Court. Like they're trying to depose like Pfizer board of directors and like saying all of this was known at the time.
Yeah.
Did you know this? And they're like, oh, well, and they circle around it and don't say yes or no. And they're like, there's been now like 3,400 peer-reviewed papers published showing how adverse reactions were known of the vaccines when they were originally released. And they're saying that, nope, we didn't know that. Like, you did know that because this was shown like at the beginning. And like this, the first time ever that like it was approved for humans and that's whatever. So like I said, I'm not going to get into that more than I guess I already did.
All right.
But yeah, so like the gun thing with Canada, weird.
Well, it's just, I just would mention that Trudeau is not real popular within his own country, it seems, with a lot of things I've seen.
Yeah. They're about to start looking at banning ammo in the U.S. now. I sent you that video of, what is it, like 15 to 20 different states or some shit are looking at to ban ammo.
I was surprised to see our state in there.
Me, bro. We're blue now, bro. Just like that wall.
But
I'm gonna change them.
This state has been very firearm friendly
for a long time.
Yeah.
So we did talk about the Texas thing last week. So I will bring up a little bit of news on that because I've been not purposefully keeping up with it, but because I talk about it and I've watched a couple videos. Everything shows me videos on it.
Yeah.
So nothing technically happened with the ultimatum of you have to let DPS in or else.
Yeah.
Nothing technically happened with that. But they did have the backhoe or whatever it was come in and like lift the razor wire up to let everybody through. Texas is allowing DPS access to the boat ramp still, so they can still patrol the river. But they also set up a row of buoys to block anybody from swimming. Like they're non-climbable, like some special kind of fucking buoy that had to like be placed that don't fucking move. And so like the DPS can, that's Department of, what does DPS stand for? Department of Public Safety?
Something like that, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
That's basically Border Patrol. So Border Patrol can go like around the river, do whatever they want, but they can't get past that fucking buoy. And they're trying to, the federal government is suing Texas for that barricade that they put in the river. Like the razor wire, they were like, hey, don't do that. They put the barrier up in the river and they were like, we're suing you to get them to stop. And then like 15 to 20 other states deployed their National Guard to go help Texas.
Yeah.
To help with all of it. And now, like as of last week, Texas is now not the number one, like cross the border zone. Now it's Tucson and San Diego.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is that now that the government has said, all right, we're going to deploy some of your soldiers from Texas. So so then they're not going to be there.
Yeah,
to be able to,
we talked about that too a little bit. Was it's getting weird. Like this whole time that we've been like, oh, we're nothing in the Middle East and it's fine and it's whatever. Like even though they're fucking shit up, like just normal and they're just being them.
Yeah.
Of now, people are getting deployment protocols sent of sending troops back to the Middle East.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I thought was it's to clear out, because if they send enough, they're gonna have to pull National Guard back to do anything else.
Well, I hate to say this, but somebody wants to let those people across the border so then they can get them registered to vote.
That actually brings up several notes that I have. A couple things. New York, I don't think they have to be registered. They can already vote in New York.
Yeah.
Illegal immigrants, undocumented, whatever you want to fucking call them, can already vote in New York. That was asked in one of the Senate hearings or like in the House of Representatives or some shit. And they were like, so do you see what the issue is with that? Like New York and one other place isn't the whole nation. You know that, right? And the guy from New York was like, well, I know, because it would be a lot better if it was. Or like some off the fucking cuff remark like that. That was my reaction. And he's like, yeah, like if they're living here, I think they should have a say. He goes, no. Like America is founded on Americans, like people in America, American citizens, voting on how America should be run. That's democracy.
If I go into another country undocumented, should I have a say in what they do?
No. And try doing that and see how it goes. Because it's not fucking well. Any other country is not fucking. Oh, also,
I want to go to Italy and start.
You sent me this one and I looked it up and read about it. This fucking whole episode's going to be political. Jesus fuck. Somebody from, I think it was the Democratic representative from Florida, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Wrote up a mock bill. He's being paid by taxpayers. I want everybody to fucking know that.
Yep.
He spent work hours, multiple, I guarantee 3 days, probably 3 days, writing up a mock bill is what he called it. What everyone called it, a mock bill to take down the Statue of Liberty, because clearly you don't know the poem that's on the bottom of the Statue of Liberty that says like, give us your immigrants, give us your refugees, give us your whatever,
poor,
with open
tired.
arms and what, like, come here, whatever, who cares?
You need to be free and all that.
Yeah. So like that whole thing, they're like, you're disrespecting that. So just take the whole fucking statue down. And the very first thought that popped in my head when you sent me that was, we don't have to take statues down because we're upset. and immediately thought about like Confederate and racist and this and that statues. Like, sure, some of them maybe shouldn't have been glorified as much as they were, but like there's shit that nobody's fucking proud of that's still sitting there. That's like, maybe you can use it as a, like, hey, don't do that again.
Well, like there's streets named after Forrest.
Yeah, I fucking seen all that this week too. Jesus Christ, the Andrew Schultz shit.
Yes.
Fuck.
I sent that to you.
Yeah. That was
he had some good points.
When did he start doing like a Tosh-esque fucking show where he just rants?
I run across it on YouTube every once in a while, but that was a good rant. I thought he had some good points.
I've seen a couple like 5 to 30-second clips of him doing stuff like that, but I didn't know it was like a that's what he does now thing.
He does that as well as touring, but he
because I mean, I could do that. Like a lot of that, like you can tell he's reading. Like it's his.
Yeah. But he wants to keep it polished, so he has notes jotted down.
Fucking words.
It's his words. It's his thoughts. But yeah, I saw him talking about Trudeau while doing stand-up in Toronto also.
I can't think of that fucking word.
That's why I'm moving on.
No, like
we don't want to spend the whole episode
like a set list, but for comics. Like it's his shit. What is that word?
I just went with notes.
Sure, we'll go with it's his notes, but you can tell like he's either fucking bullet points or something to like just rant on. And yeah, a lot of it's fucking great.
Yeah.
Like spruce up the video shit a little bit and we can throw a fucking green screen back here like he did. Then I could rant for a long time.
You know, I really liked it when he some of his points.
Yeah.
They lost.
Yeah. Yeah. So they can already vote in New York. That's what I was getting at. And if it's already in one place, it can spread to others before like the Supreme Court or somebody shuts it down to where it's fucking like, this is ridiculous. But also, and this is a very concerning part because it's going to have two different sides to it. One, I think I sent it to you also, is close to the border crossing. Yeah. They're finding a shit load of IDs.
Yeah. They're just throwing them.
Of ID cards, passports, everything. They'll just toss them so they can go over and be like, oh, this is my name, and make up a name. Mm-hmm. And you can't fucking say yes or no because you don't have any ID.
Yeah.
So they could be who they say they are. They could not be.
And they're not going to go there and run them through Interpol.
Yeah.
This isn't a movie.
Because Border Patrol wasn't doing any of that. But, bro, there's so many fucking rabbit holes on this. Like, my Facebook's been full of it.
Well, I just want to mention the thing about the Statue of Liberty. Is you see is when that was put up, people were coming through on boats to Ellis Island, and they were being processed through the whole thing.
Which, if you didn't know, the Statue of Liberty is not on Ellis Island.
No, it's not. But they were going through Ellis Island to get here. There was also other spots, but the Ellis Island one was the most well-known.
Very big one. Like one of the main spots.
But they were coming through legally.
Yeah, and you can actually, I think, petition to go, like, because it's under a glass case now, like the signature book.
Uh-huh.
At Ellis Island, you can actually go, and I think it, like, turns pages either by itself or, like, you can request, like, to see a certain page.
Yeah.
Because I think they have all the pages scanned so that you can see, like, when your ancestors came over.
I was going to say, they probably have it in online, I mean, you would think, so you don't have to actually fly there.
I'm sure they do, but it's a tourist thing of like, if you pay enough money, we'll fucking do anything. My name's New York.
Yeah. Yeah, if you pay them, they'll
exactly.
Well, except give you concealed carry permit.
If you have enough money, they will.
Oh yeah, because they don't want the elite to have the guns. I also
seen a bunch of shit on that this week. Jesus,
yeah, they want the elite to have the guns.
So, also, illegal immigrants will not have to provide an ID to fly on planes. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah. So this whole TSA thing, and I'm actually excited about this because this proves that TSA is a fucking joke and can get canceled and fucking thrown out the window soon.
It's a fraud if that's the case.
Exactly. Well, one, TSA has violated more fucking like rights and like caused more lawsuits than saves. Like quote unquote saves. Yeah. Because they steal more shit from people than they actually confiscate stuff that should be confiscated. Yeah. They violate more people's fucking private areas and are sued about it.
I keep
often.
trying to get that happening, and it just doesn't happen for me.
Well, maybe you need to find the right guy. But like, there's a lot of shit that TSA fucks up all the time. Like recently for me, like it hasn't been bad, but one of the last times I went, bro, it was probably an hour and a half wait because they only had one fucking line open.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It was at Vegas. In Vegas.
That's ridiculous.
One fucking line.
That's the number 7 busiest airport in the country.
Is that a number?
That's a number.
No, I know it's a number, but like, is that a real number? Or
that's a real number.
Okay.
Yeah.
That just seemed like a really quick, like, oh, that's.
Yeah, I have that.
I believe it because it's a fairly big airport. But like Dallas, holy
Chicago
fuck.
is the busiest.
I figured
O'Hare.
like Chicago, JFK, Dallas, LAX, Arizona, maybe Frisco.
Yeah. I don't remember. I just
probably
remember
somewhere
Chicago
else.
was number 1 and Vegas was number 7.
Probably somewhere else on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And that would bring us to 6. Yeah. Because that Dallas is fucking huge, bro.
Yeah. Denver's huge too.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying that they have as much people flying through. I'm just saying
it doesn't touch Dallas's airport.
It just seemed like a huge mall.
I've flown through both. Dallas is fucking huge. I walked for like 11 minutes.
I'm not trying to compete. I'm just
like the same. You walk the same speed I do.
Yeah.
I walked for 11 minutes and still didn't get all the way across one building.
When I was in LA, I had to run from one terminal to another to get to my flight because they were a long ways away from each other.
Yeah, LA
and I had to run.
LA has cross tarmac shuttles.
People aren't going to get this
LAX
reference,
is.
but I had to pull an O.J. Simpson and run through because he used to have the commercial where he ran through the airport, but jumping over people's luggage and shit. Then I get over there.
They might have understood a Home Alone. You got a Home Alone through the airport.
Yeah. But I get over there and I finally get up to the thing and boarding had been delayed.
There you go. You made it. Congratulations.
Same thing happened when I was flying.
At least
to Vegas.
It's not you fucking run to the gate and watch the fucking airplane get shoved off, Mike. I've seen that.
I ran. I was in Arizona. I ran all the way from one to another. It was another long trip. And again, the flight had not been boarded yet. And I go, well, how much time do I have? Like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, how long until we actually start boarding?
Oh, well, we don't know.
I'm like, do I have time to walk over there and get a beer and a shot?
Because I just fucking ran over here.
And I had time to go get a beer and a shot.
There you go.
Because buy a beer and you get a shot for $1. So I did it.
That's not a bad deal.
No.
Well, I mean, if the beer's $10, it's a bad deal. But
yeah, I don't remember. It wasn't $10 though.
$7.50.
It was a long time ago, but yeah, I had the beer, I had the shot, and then it ended up being a long time. I actually had time to go outside and smoke a cigarette and go back inside.
Wow.
Yeah. I remember looking at the sky going, Arizona's pretty. Does the sky always turn this shit brown? Because there was a big dust storm. Air Force One was there too. Yeah.
You asked for a ride?
Yeah, but he was too busy getting a haircut on the plane.
Well, how long ago was this? Who was that? Was it Bush?
No, it's Clinton.
Oh.
I just said that because
that was going to be the second guess.
I was just going to say that. I was just saying that because he had actually, when he first went into office, he caused some controversy because he held up air traffic at LAX while getting a haircut on the plane.
You and your fucking random airport references that people aren't going to know.
My random just knowledge.
If you're listening and you actually were affected by that random holdup at LAX, let us know.
I was not.
Not you, if they're listening.
But I'm saying I was not one of them. I just remember reading about it.
So another thing that I want to bring up, and this is fucking, people need to stop just in general. One of the big things, and the World Economic Forum is doing this. You know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. So, which is good because I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
Somebody from the WEF their new thing is ecocide, which is like the killing of our like ecosystems.
Yeah.
But
I mean, do they need help? What should I kill?
But so they're trying to make a bunch of different countries, stupid fucking thing. They're trying to make a bunch of different countries like put laws out against ecocide, but they're not defining how strict ecocide should be defined at all. So This article says a growing number of countries are considering introducing laws to make ecocide a crime. Mexico is the latest country where politicians are seeking to deter environmental damage and to get justice for its victims by criminalizing it. A couple things. Its victims being the earth. So that's one. While damaging the environment is already an offense in most countries, recognition of ecocide elevates the most egregious cases to a crime with accompanying penalties. So they're doing like jailed for up to 15 years and fined as much as 1,500 pesos a day, which is about $80, $100. The Mexican bill uses a definition of ecocide developed by an international panel of legal experts. So I guess I should read that. But what I saw originally was that they're basically aiming it that like farming, like if you have land and you farm on that land, you're destroying the soil, and that can be considered ecocide.
Well, that's
if
called growing food.
If you're hunting, but it's disturbing the soil.
Okay, how do we get food then?
Let it be. Just die.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't know I was hurting I didn't know I was hurting everything. I'm gonna stop eating.
Legal experts worldwide draw up historic definition of ecocide. This is 2 years ago, so it might have changed by now. The draft law unveiled on Tuesday defines it as an unlawful or wanton acts committed, not like the food wontons.
Yeah.
With knowledge that there is substantial likelihood of severe and widespread or long-term damage to the environment being caused by those acts. Oh, you mean like spraying fucking pesticides on crops?
I was just telling you that I was going to stop eating, and you start talking about wontons. Thanks.
Blah, blah, blah. Before other crimes. Yeah, so it just basically says, like, if you know it's going to fuck shit up. So you can just play dumb. Oh, I didn't know it was bad to light napalm on fire in the Amazon.
It's not.
They looked cold.
The mosquitoes get cold. You heat them up with some napalm. It's great.
That's fucking wild.
And everybody knows the smell of napalm in the morning is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also just saw something that they've never studied. It's everything I've been fucking seeing recently is concerning. Is when they study pesticides and their effect on quote unquote the environment.
Yes.
Do you know the only thing they look at is bumblebees?
I did not, but bees are very important.
They are. However, they only consider it within like the first 4 days of spraying if bees can survive it.
Well, first of all, they should probably check honeybees because bumblebees, they're just going to die anyway. They're bumbling into each other.
Honeybees is what I meant.
I know.
But both of them do a lot.
Yeah. I just bumble.
So,
it's like they're bumbling.
What they don't consider, and it's a pretty important thing, is how pesticide affects the soil.
Oh, no.
Because a lot of the pesticide, like they have it on video of earthworms having seizures. Did you know earthworms can have seizures?
No.
Because I fucking didn't, other than like wriggling.
How do you know that they're... Because I've seen them wriggle.
Yeah, I've seen them wriggle like when they're like, oh, where's the dirt? I'm on concrete. And like don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But I would imagine it's like that, but like different.
All right.
But they can have seizures like greatly, and then when they are just fucked up by pesticides, they can't turn soil into nutrients for the soil by eating it and shitting it out. So pesticides are even worse than we originally knew, because everybody knows pesticides are fucking awful, and that's why organic's a big thing. But
what we need to do, though, we need to see a worm have a seizure. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to get a bunch of worms. We're going to
get some fucking DDT and spray a worm?
No, we're going to get worms, and then we're going to put on one of these screens the banned Pokemon episode that causes seizures and see what it does to the worms.
The banned Pokemon episodes?
Yes, there's an episode of Pokemon.
Oh,
that's been banned.
I didn't hear prohibited. I heard music collection of people.
No,
I heard banned, not banned.
Yeah, the prohibited episode of Pokemon. One of the prohibited. There's actually multiple ones, but the one in particular, it has Porygon, and apparently a lot of people watching it had seizures. There's another episode, but this guy in it has a habit of pulling a gun on a 10-year-old kid often. I didn't even see the whole episode. I only saw part of the episode, and he pulls a gun on Ash like multiple times. Is it all? They're all in season 1.
Huh.
Yeah. You don't believe that there's a banned episode?
No, I believe you. I'm looking up something else that reminded me of.
Oh,
And Google
Google.
doesn't fucking know about it
Yeah, Google can't know about everything.
in old movies. Blah, 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 blah.
We'll get them to watch Pokemon and see if they have seizures. The Porygon episode.
Jesus Christ. I'm going to have to fucking look this up further because Google isn't fucking saying anything. I saw something that was like Disney spent like 6 million or 60 million. Like to them, either one is fine with them to put like chemtrails or contrails, whatever you want to call them, like the airplane, like flat fucking cloud lines
Yeah.
in old Disney movies so that people see it and they're like, oh, this is normal.
Wow.
So like if you watch it on Disney Plus, like a lot of it's been touched up many, 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 many times by now. Of like just like if you watch Star Wars, the original trilogy, that's different than if you have like on Laserdisc, the original theatrical version.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff different.
Yeah.
A lot.
Well, like there's a part when he's walking and he's talking to Jabba. Jabba was actually in there, but which they actually had intended to put him in originally, but it didn't make the cut. They actually had a big fat guy walking with him, talking to him. I saw clips of that.
It was probably Dengar,
I don't remember, but
the bounty hunter with the bandage on his head.
Oh, well, no, they had actually like a big fat guy that was supposed to be Jabba the Hutt.
Stand-in for Jabba.
And it was because they didn't actually do the scene until they CGI'd in Jabba.
Yeah, because it was definitely, and then he steps on his tail. That's what ruined that whole scene for me, is when Han steps on Jabba's tail. And he's like, come on.
He's actually supposed to be pretty tough and the leader of a crime organization, and he gets his tail stepped on. I know.
He's the fucking leader of the Hutt Syndicate. Come on.
Yeah.
You don't think he's fucking gotten his tail pinched before?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
But speaking of that, though, but I have seen a few things Disney related. Apparently, the movie Ray that they're supposed to be making, there's been a lot of problems, so they've delayed it. And I hear the director got fired recently, so they're starting. And Bob Iger, he's like, no more of this woke stuff. We're just going to make it entertaining.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that. Do you know who they just hired for the next fucking like 8 Disney Star Wars projects?
Who?
A woke fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, that's been one of the big problems. I thought they were getting rid of her.
I haven't heard anything about it since they hired her because she hasn't released anything yet.
Well, but yeah, there's been a I
swear to God, she better not have anything to do with Acolyte.
But Ray has something to do with that. She has something to do with Ray, the movie. She has no qualifications to be running a studio to make all these movies. But the thing is if they would actually take a look at the books and see the stories in there, they would realize that a lot of things are going on in those books. There could be something going on here, in the different parts of the universe.
All at the same time.
And all at the same time. And some of those people who are not just in the background are women doing big things.
Yeah.
Like there's one character, Mara Jade. She works directly with
fucking badass.
She's a
Mara
badass.
Jade's amazing.
And she works directly with Luke Skywalker. And she doesn't take a backseat to anybody. She's her own character. They could make movies on her.
I'm going to have to go back to last week's episode when we talked about a word that you said that has an A and a consonant and an A. You said Mara?
Mara Jade.
Mara Jade. It's not Mara Jade?
Mara Jade.
But it's caramel and Impala. But it's a hard A right there. It's not a soft A. It's not. I'm confused.
I am just going by what they called it in the book.
So say that again.
Mara Jade.
No. You're going by what they called it in the book.
Well, I listened to the audiobook and heard her name there first.
Okay.
So that's why I'm calling it that.
Okay, I got it.
If I'd heard it said the other way, I would have said it the other way, but I heard it Mara Jade.
Now you're stuck.
Now I'm stuck with Mara Jade. It's in my head. I can't get rid of it.
I like Mara Jade better.
I like Mara Jade.
A lot better. Well, you're wrong.
I'm always right. But it's just there's all these and
one of the things I saw
Organa Solo, she does a lot more than just stand around and get kidnapped and put in a gold bikini.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of women in there that are really good. Mara Jade was the hand of the Emperor at one point. I mean,
yeah. And one of the things I found on Facebook recently was like, you realize there's more to Star Wars than like surrounding the Skywalker saga. And if you stop with that, people would be a lot happier. Because like the fucking, like, maybe it used to be only about that, which obviously, look at the original trilogy. It's all centered around Luke. But now with the expanded universe, there is so fucking much. Like, there's so much of it that Luke is nowhere near.
Yeah.
Like the Knights of the Old Republic.
I was just going to say that.
Give us a fucking Revan-based TV show or movie that isn't directed by a woke piece of shit and has violence in it.
Give me Darth Bane.
This fucking, like,
rule of two.
This lightsaber makes bright red Sharpie marks on stormtroopers' armor. Shit pisses me off.
But see, Darth Bane is why things turned out to be they were. Why there was the rule of two. Why he had Darth Vader as his apprentice.
Darth Bane?
No, that's why saying what happened later on. Why the Emperor had.
Yeah.
Yeah, and why Plagueis had.
He was wise.
Yes. So
if nobody caught that, it's because he's called Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Yeah, but Bane went around and he looked all over the universe just looking for knowledge of the Sith.
Yeah.
And
finding hidden holocrons and absorbing the knowledge.
And the people who were in charge at the time were like, no, don't look for knowledge.
Yeah.
How's that going to help?
I feel like that's where we're at now.
Yeah.
Hey, don't you be smart. You shut the fuck up. We're right there in history.
Don't worry, Big Daddy government will take care of everything. You just stay home.
Yeah, and they can't even do that.
Yeah.
At all. At all. Jesus Christ.
I did see something very weird, not politically related. Have you ever seen a dog chiropractor?
I saw a video on it a couple months ago. It's weird.
So weird because the dog doesn't know what to like. They do the adjustment. The dog's like, at first seems mad,
and then like just the stupid smile on its face
because it doesn't know how to react at first. Yeah. And some of the dogs that this guy's doing it to, it's like, that could go really bad for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a Rottweiler. That could.
Dogs are full of bones. It makes sense they could be misaligned.
Yeah. Or a bag of bones.
Yeah.
I've never been to a chiropractor myself.
That's nice. It's hard to find a good one.
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's some people that are like, oh, any of them are amazing. Like, yeah. But I've been to a lot. I can hurt myself at home for free.
Yeah. I've never felt like I've needed to.
Good for you. Yeah. I wish.
And I don't know what they really do. I mean, because if they do it and then you have to keep going back to them.
Well, see, so
it seems like they're not fixing the problem.
That was initially my thing. And if you find the right one, it actually so when you first start seeing them, it could be like once or twice a week. And then it'll go to like once a week and then like twice a month and then once a month because it slowly starts to get better. Like,
but does it get to never?
It can. But it basically is like if your bones are like, I don't know, like adjusted, like aligned weird, and the chiropractor starts adjusting them back, what most chiropractors do or don't do is pop. Here you go. Have a good day. Come back. And they don't tell you how to get better. So good ones will like, okay, here's your issue. Here's what I'll do to help you. And then like throughout the week, do these certain exercises to strengthen the muscles around these bones so that it holds it better where it should be.
Well, the reason why the ones that just go pop and come back next week, because they have boat payments.
Yeah.
They need you to keep coming back.
Yeah. And that's why I won't ever go to what's that? The fucking like the McDonald's of chiropractors that's like right by the Chipotle, by the Legends.
I'm not sure. I was thinking, are you talking about the one? I can't remember what it's called, but I know I seen one from Olive Garden.
The Joint.
The Joint.
Yeah, the Joint. It's the McDonald's of chiropractors. Like, good for them. They're making money, but maybe fucking help people better. Because you come in, they don't care. Like, oh, okay, it hurts here. Have a good day. And it's like a 10-minute appointment, which some people fucking love. Like, how fucked up a lot of stuff for me is, it's not like that. Like, you have to put the little fucking, like, electrical leads on to, like, loosen up the muscles before you do it or after you do it or in the middle of
it.
And, like, you have to get around, like, work the muscle into doing what you want it to do to be able to fucking have movement.
A long time ago, I saw a thing where they wanted to do a chiropractor where they put you under. And doctors are like, no, you can't do that because first doctors were not on board with chiropractors as it was. But then you start putting people under and you start adjusting them. They can't respond to you and say, "Oh no, that fucking hurts. Please don't do that." You
Yeah,
know?
well, it doesn't hurt. It's fine.
Yeah, because as far as you know, it doesn't hurt.
Exactly. So then when they don't wake up, they can't tell you.
Yeah.
There
Oh,
you go.
we lost another one.
Yeah, put them over there in the pile. I'm sorry, you said pile?
He had a pre-existing condition. It had nothing to do with the adjustment I did on his neck. Nothing at all.
Imagine you just fucking like went to a coma for like 12 hours and you wake up and you're like 5 people deep in that pile. You're like, help.
There's a video game I played where your character starts off in a pile of dead bodies and you have to get out. Yeah, it's like there was a big battle and apparently they thought your guy was dead and threw him in the pile with the rest. And that was a big pile.
Have you heard of the video game Pal World?
No.
Apparently it's one of the newest, biggest fucking things. I just saw an article today. It sold 5 million copies in 3 days.
Wow.
That's a lot.
What's it on?
Stuff. Pal World is an action-adventure survival game by Japanese developer Pocket Pair. The game is set in an open world populated with animal-like creatures known as pals. So it's very similar to Pokemon and Digimon. You go out and you can like capture, the players can battle and capture pals in order to use them for base building, traversal, and combat. So you basically go capture all these fucking creatures that aren't Pokemon because they're pals.
Okay.
And then you take them back to your base and say, hey, you build this, you dig this, you make this, you carry me over here. I say this and he pulls out a fucking, is that a button? Is that a garage door opener?
No, it's
Is that a Simon Says, but it's only 3 buttons?
It's only got 1 button, so I'm really good.
No, it looks like fucking all 3 are buttons.
But no, this is
that your auto catch? It's not an auto catcher if you have to push a button, Mike.
You don't have to push a button. You pair it with your phone, then you go out in the world and it catches Pokemon.
But you have to have that with you.
Well, yeah, but
I don't fucking know how it works.
But you
have an auto catcher.
You have it in your pocket, and you're walking along, and it just catches what's nearby. So if you're running errands, you can have Pokemon being caught in the background.
I know what an auto catcher does. I didn't know it had a.
This is the newest one.
How many have you bought?
Only a couple. This is the newest one.
5.
No.
7. 8.
I've had 3 different kinds.
Okay.
But this one
only costs $49.99.
No, this one, as you're playing, when you know there's Pokemon nearby,
$69.99.
You can hit the button and it'll use more than just regular Pokeballs.
$99.99. Higher? I don't think I've seen Mike turn this red in a long fucking time. So back down, $49.99.
Yeah, that's good. But
wow, no. So we'll go with 70. That was $70.
But it's rechargeable.
Oh,
I don't have to buy batteries for it.
Fucking better be.
My old one, I had to buy batteries, and it would only use regular Pokeballs.
Jesus Christ. So Pal World is on Steam, Xbox. It looks like PS5.
I had this in my pocket at Disneyland.
And they didn't take it from you?
Nope.
That's good.
They didn't take anything. Took my money.
The game is set, open world, blah, blah, blah. Pal World can either solo or online by up to 32 players on one server. Announced in 2021. It launched via early access for Windows, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S in January of 2024. That's right now.
Oh.
So it looks like it's not on PS5 yet. Yeah, it sold 5 million units in the first 3 days of early access. It's only on early access, and it's still sold that many. Reached 1.5 million concurrent players on Steam, making it the 3rd most played game on the platform.
Early access, and it's on Xbox. So early access for that is probably people who are members of the where you get the games every month.
Game Pass, yeah.
Yeah. So that would probably contribute to it.
But so not only is 5 million units in the first 3 days massive, 1.5 million concurrent players on Steam. That's a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
Like, and it makes it the third most played game on the platform, which is a lot.
Yeah.
It says in Pal World, players control a customizable avatar from a third-person perspective with the goal of exploring the open world Palpagos Islands and uncovering their secrets. Players need to manage their hunger level, craft basic tools, gather materials, and build bases that act as fast travel points. Unlocks through a technology tree allow the player to craft and use weapons, structures, and decorations. The islands are inhabited by over 100 creatures known as pals. Players directly engage in combat with pals in order to weaken them and capture them using pal spheres, not Pokeballs.
Okay, that's...
Pals can also be bought on the black market through non-player characters or traded with other players. After obtaining pals, they can be summoned to battle or stationed at the bases to assist with scavenging, crafting, cooking, etc., depending on their type. Each pal has a partner skill, allowing further utility by using them as weapons or mounts. The game's antagonists are various factions such as Crime Syndicate, a pal liberation movement, and a police-like island defense force, led by powerful PAL trainers who reside in towers across the islands and act as the game's main boss battles. The factions have human NPCs who occasionally spawn in the world as well, either patrolling or battling each other, who are hostile to the player and can fight them with weapons. The game features a wanted level system, where if the player commits a crime, usually against humans such as assault, other human NPCs will become hostile against them and force troopers will spawn to attack them until the player is killed or they evade their pursuers. So it's GTA Pokemon.
Wow. That's... wow.
Yeah. So Mike's going to buy that tonight.
No, I'll be playing Zelda tonight. Which I do want to mention one thing.
Because it's going to take a while to download Pal World.
Yeah. I do want to mention something about... because I've said positive things about Zelda many, many times. Yeah. I enjoy the game very much. But there is one thing that's very, very annoying. I was playing it today. I was playing the old game today to try to do some things, and I finished killing all these things on an island. Things I'm supposed to kill.
Mm.
And I have to do that so you can get this shrine to pop up. The shrine pops up. You have to climb up a fucking mountain to get to it. Okay, that's fine. But then I walk up to the mountain, and guess what happens? It immediately starts raining.
So I can't slide off the mountain.
Yes. I can't climb up the fucking mountain. And this happens so fucking often. It's so irritating. I actually had to find a place where it wasn't getting hit by water so I could light a fire, so I could advance time, so I could get to a time when the when the rain wasn't falling, and climb up the damn thing.
Jesus.
Very frustrating. It happens too often. And if there's lightning and all your weapons and your shield are metal, you have to take them off because you're going to hit by lightning. Except in Tears of the Kingdom, I have the lightning-proof helmet, so I just walk through. Actually, I'll actually walk up next to an enemy when I know I'm about to get struck by lightning, just so they get hit by the lightning. It's great. They don't like it, but I do.
I'm sure. So, speaking of lightning and electricity, this actually didn't have that many notes, I guess, because I blew through them all. Fucking how they chained together with that rabbit hole earlier.
Yeah.
So you know how California is all nice and wants people to be there and super considerate about everybody and doesn't charge a lot to breathe and, everything?
Yeah.
Right. So that's going to change soon because they're trying to charge people for electricity based on their income.
What the what?
Yeah. They're trying to put a bill in that charges people based on their income for electricity that they use.
That's crazy.
So, like, if you're at the poverty level, it's going to be, I don't know electricity prices since fucking, I don't know,
just
probably like
2011.
Because then I actually cared about, like, the kilowatt hours to how many cents it was when I was in Phoenix.
Yeah.
That was the first time I had electrical in my name. But let's say it's, I don't know, I'm sure it's somewhere around a quarter per kilowatt hour. It's probably a decent average now, how much everything's gotten jacked. So if you're at poverty level, let's say you'd pay 15 cents per kilowatt hour because you're poor, so we'll give you a break and cut you a deal.
All right.
If you make, let's say, $130,000 a year, I'm sure that's going to be way lower than that. But if you make $130,000 a year, now instead of paying 25 cents per kilowatt hour, you're probably going to pay 40 or 50 cents per kilowatt hour because you can afford it. You're rich. Never mind getting taxed 30 or 40% because you live in Cali and fucking have to pay to exist.
It's just after you get done paying for that and all the other things.
Yeah, now you're in the poverty level. So now give me a break. They're like, well, we can't because you already paid.
And you know what happens with that is that when somebody's spending all this money on all these other things, they don't have what's called disposable income, which goes into the economy and moves our economy.
Yeah, that's California doesn't know what to do with that anyway because they just give it to people instead of upgrading their infrastructure to be able to return money to themselves in the future.
Yeah, I mean, why would they want infrastructure?
Exactly. That's why they dump fucking trillions, hundreds of trillions of gallons of rainwater into the ocean every year instead of introducing it into their fucking system.
But wait, the ocean's running out.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they can just steal water from us in Oregon and fucking everybody else.
No, we take it from Colorado.
But everybody's in a drought. It's weird.
Yeah.
Almost like there's a massive amount of water everywhere. Almost.
There's some water someplace.
It's not like it, but it's almost like it.
Sometimes you gotta.
Strange.
You gotta those freezers that don't defrost themselves. You gotta scrape that shit out.
You gotta chip it off.
Yeah.
And
throw it in the ocean.
Well, there wasn't ice in it, but I just had to fucking swap the water in my ice bath because I finally hooked up the new pump and filter system.
Nice.
So it's gonna be super clean.
That's good.
Yeah.
But the whole ice bath thing, that's not for me.
It's dope. I like it a lot.
I can't do that.
I like it a lot. And the first day, I like the cold. The first day I did it, it was a shock to me of how hard it was to stay in the water. I like cold. I like cold water. That was a lot.
See, I've told you about it. I had to reach into more than once an ice bin because the plug was blocked. And I had to reach in there through all this ice water and move something out of the way so it could drain.
So when I was little,
and that was very,
I was 12,
not fun.
11 or 12 the first time I remember doing it. We were on some like church field trip or some shit, and they have coolers full of ice and soda and whatever. Sorry, it's pop. It was the South, which I had a great argument with them. It's soda pop in the South.
Yeah, it's
pop in the Midwest, and it's soda on the West Coast.
Yeah, you just put them together. It's soda pop.
Yeah, which used to mean a float, but it's different.
I just say Dr. Pepper.
So after everybody would get all the cans out of your flavored carbonated beverage of choice,
yes,
there would just be ice water left. And I really liked dunking my head in the ice water in the cooler and seeing how long I could hold my breath and keep my head underwater before I got brain freeze. Damn. As a 12-year-old. Like, it was such a rush. Like, I didn't know it's because of how much dopamine it fucking releases. But now studies have shown that ice baths are really good for you. Like, in general, they help like regulate blood pressure, heart rate, several other things like heart in general. It helps retain like the elasticity of your skin because it contracts everything. It can help you lose weight. It can help you like a bunch of different shit. But it also is it releases dopamine for up to 2 or 3 hours after you're out. Like if you do a line of cocaine, I think it's like 15 to 20 minutes is what studies say of like when the dopamine stops. An ice bath is 3 hours. A little bit longer.
I just remember when I had to reach into that ice, pretty much I did it because I was the one who would do it. Everybody else was like, you're crazy.
Hand cold.
Arm cold.
Yeah, try an ice bath.
Went up to here.
Try it.
No.
Try it. Try it.
Thank you.
Try it.
No.
Try it. Try it.
No.
I got one of the guys at work to try it. He bought one. He's doing it now.
I hate cold.
Dope. Russell's doing it.
Oh, everybody's doing it. I should do it too then.
There, you see, you get it. Just jump in. Water's okay.
This has been an example of peer pressure.
The water's okay. I didn't say it's fine. It's okay.
I don't like being cold.
I think the coldest that it ever was, it was when it was like 15 degrees outside. The water was down to like 34 degrees. It didn't freeze because I had a pump going to circulate it for that reason.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, did that one suck. But after, it felt great.
But speaking of being cold, apparently when the Chiefs played, not this week but last week, they had the fourth coldest game in NFL history, or at least playoff game.
What was the temperature?
Like 4 degrees.
Oh, I definitely wasn't expecting that. That's cold.
It was in Kansas City. Yeah. Chiefs won too.
I saw Nebraska got like 7 feet of snow like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
that nasty storm that fucking hit us.
It hit them harder.
It shit on Nebraska. There was a picture of a Nebraska state trooper on the road, obviously. And the cutout from the fucking plows and everything was like probably 2 or 3 feet taller than the fucking cruiser.
Damn.
It's like, holy shit.
I remember once when I was 5 years old living in Nebraska, and I couldn't go outside because the snow was too tall. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I wanted to go outside. I remember seeing the door open and looking out and seeing all this snow and not being allowed to go out and seeing the snow, like a wall of snow. I was a sad panda.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But I would have gotten lost in the snow.
I think I was 3.
It looked like the ice.
3-ish when I was in Nebraska when it snowed.
Looked like the ice.
It was fun.
Ice planet Hoth.
Yeah. As opposed to the lava planet Hoth.
Yeah. Well, that's how they
refer
to that.
Very distinct difference.
Yeah. General Hoth. He was back during the old Republic.
Yeah. Which is why it's named Hoth.
Yeah. Of course, if he was, around and they said they were going to name it that, he probably would have said, "Can you give me a nicer place?"
Yeah, he could have named it Colt.
Could you have given me a resort place?
Oh. So I wish I fucking remembered who said this. It was the guy that did the review. Daniel Defense released a handgun again. I don't know if you saw that. The Daniel Defense H9. It's based off of the Hudson 9 that they used to have, but that was awful, and this one's really fucking good.
Oh, that's good.
So I watched a guy that reviewed it. His name's Dave. I remember thinking like, oh, well, it'd have been clever if your name was Daniel. He opened the video with a dad joke, and I will pass it on here. So, okay. Dave, sorry, I don't know your fucking YouTube channel, or I'd plug you right now. He goes, do you know what Jay-Z called his wife before they were married?
No.
Fiance.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought that was great. I was like, I get it. That's amazing.
Yeah, I get it.
Anybody that doesn't, it's because her name's now Beyonce. So read a book. Anything else?
You don't even have to read a book. Watch Entertainment Tonight or some kind of, I don't know, gossip show. But I do want to point out I do have new clothes today. My clothing subscription made it.
It does. He's got a flannel, like a button down.
I got a Henley underneath it.
Yeah, that's the button down.
Yeah, and then I've got new shoes.
He's got some Nike knockoffs. Oh, sorry. What are they?
Ben Sherman.
Throw me that look. They look like they're supposed to be Nikes.
They're Ben Sherman. They've been around for a long time. They're British. But I also got a leather jacket that you can't see. I like the leather jacket.
They look nice.
Thank you.
I didn't know England had a Nike before Nikes were Nikes.
They had Ben Sherman.
That's what I said.
Before Ben Sherman.
Tomato, potato.
The original Ben Sherman. That's on their pants, too.
UK or Ben Sherman?
Ben Sherman.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I had some canvas shoes from them, too.
Do you paint on them?
No.
Normally, I know,
not that kind of canvas.
Oh, okay. Figured I'd ask.
But I liked my clothing subscription this time, so wanted to mention it.
Nice. But not saying the name because they're not paying us.
Yeah.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow, and share Facebook and Instagram at Some Offense Intended, and YouTube, Some Offense Intended. Just look for it. And Twitter and TikTok at Some Offense Pod. And
like, share,
like on and review on whatever
comment
whatever podcast platform you listen to. We're working on trying to upgrade and change and do a bunch of different shit. So let us know what you want to see, what you don't like seeing, what you want to hear, what you don't like hearing.
One thing I wanted to tell you about, there was a game this week the Golden Knights played,
Mm-hmm.
and at one point they scored
Was
2
it
goals.
hockey?
Yes,
Okay.
they scored 2 goals in like 25 seconds.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It was on like Thursday night. I meant to actually text you about it when it happened.
I think that might be the quickest they've ever done, because I know they've done it 45 seconds before.
But 25 seconds, yeah. Yeah, that game,
That's
they ended up winning
fucking
like
wild.
5-1 or 5-2 or something like that.
Jesus Christ. Okay, well, go Vegas Golden Knights, and goodbye.